More mass shootings across the United States, this time in Florida. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. 10 people were injured yesterday afternoon during a drive-by shooting in a central Florida neighborhood, police said. Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor said that during a news conference that 2 of the victims were critically injured while the wounds of the other 8 victims were considered life-threatening. The victims were males between the age of 20 and 35. A crowd of people, it is said, were gathered along a residential street when a dark blue sedan rolled up slowly but not stopping. 4 people fired shots from the sedan's window before the car sped away, Taylor said. Officers were still searching for the vehicle and the shooters last night. Another mass shooting also took place in Houston, Texas over the weekend at a hookah lounge as well, with 5 persons getting shot and 1 student being killed. A suspect has been identified, but we did not get any further information whether he was apprehended. Over in Jamaica, Dr. Horace Chang, Minister of National Security, said that local and American law enforcement agencies are now collaborating to find the criminals responsible for the shipment of guns that was discovered at Montego Bay Freeport on Friday. The operation resulted in the seizure of 22 weapons and a significant amount of ammunition. The weapons were eventually discovered to be untraceable. They call them ghost guns, which have become the preferred firearm of criminals. Meanwhile, an airport worker attached to the Sangsters International Airport in St. James has been arrested in connection with a cocaine bust at the airport on Sunday. Almost 6 pounds of cocaine with a street value of $125,000 was seized. The police said members of the Narcotics Division and the Customs Contraband Enforcement Team were conducting operations at the airport when they accosted an employee who was acting suspiciously. The airport worker was searched and 4 parcels containing cocaine were reportedly found in his possession. The male suspect, who is employed as a ramp agent at the airport, was subsequently arrested on reasonable suspicion for breaches of the Dangerous Drug Act. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson and a group from the Police High Command visited the troubled neighborhood of West Kingston on Sunday after an uptick in violence in several parts of the West. Police will move quickly, according to General Anderson, to stop the violence and stop it from getting worse. And in order to avoid retaliation and restore calm in the affected neighborhoods, he further stated that the police would closely collaborate with the Jamaica Defense Force. A shooting along Regent Street on Saturday left 2 people dead and 4 more injured. And in a similar attack hours earlier on West Street, 3 people were hurt and 2 more people were slain. And since the most recent escalation of violence, 5 people have already died and 8 have been injured. And police said that they are now searching for 23 men from West Kingston who are part of the creators of this mayhem. The Police High Command has enlisted the assistance of the nation's musicians to listen on the creation of music that glorifies violence as part of its campaign to combat crime. Fitz Bailey, the Deputy Commissioner in charge of crime, has revealed that it is now time for the musicians to pipe down and cool down on gun lyrics. According to DCP Bailey, who was interviewed on a radio show, JCF Now, law enforcement organizations are concerned that people who participate in crime and violence are easily influenced by the music that is played to them on the radio. And he believes that musicians can make a substantial contribution to the decrease in crime. A 68-year-old man's body, which was found on a plantation where he worked on Sunday in Whitney District in Moco Clarendon, has been ruled a homicide. After going missing for a few days, Everton Allison, also known as Jono, a farmer from Moco Richmond Park region, was discovered dead by family members who had conducted a search. According to the police, a search that started at 8 a.m. on Sunday by family members and ward neighbors resulted in the discovery of the deceased on the plantation. Police were called and his death is now ruled a homicide. Police have now established that a farmer was killed by being chopped to death on Monday morning in the Ginger Ground neighborhood near Malvern in St. Elizabeth. The man is from the community, according to sources. And since the beginning of the year, there have been 2 murders reported in St. Elizabeth. While across Jamaica, 86 murders were recorded since the start of this year, compared to 137 for the corresponding period in 2022. Meanwhile, the case of a double homicide that occurred in the division in September, according to Kingston West Police, has now been solved. And this came after the cops shot and killed the main suspect last week. According to investigators, two males, 44-year-old Boo Gat Lyons and 33-year-old Richard Lyons, were fatally shot on September 18 near Clarence Villa Road in Kingston 5. According to the police, Ayrton Cargill, 26, who was the primary suspect, was shot and killed during a standoff with officers last week Monday in the Norman Gardens neighborhood. Later witnesses recognized Cargill as the perpetrator of that double killing. Onto Sports Premier League leaders, Mount Pleasant played with 10 men from the 54th minute. Edgehumble Lions 1-0 at Draxhall Sports Complex to extend their lead atop the Jamaica Premier League to 5 points on Sunday. Trevante Stewart nodded home in the 90 plus 1 minute from a corner kick for his league-high 10th goal of the season, which pushed Mount Pleasant to 27 points from 12 games. Chapelton Maroons and Dunby Hoden played to a 0-all draw. Vere Edge Falkland 1-0, Tivoli Clap Montego Bay United 3-0, while Portmore and Waterhouse drew 1-1. However, last night Cavalier meantime moved to 25 points, and which draws them 2 points behind Mount Pleasant after a 2-0 beating of Mullines United, while Harborview beat Arnett Gardens 1-0. And just so you know, if you missed the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube and type in Jamaican Undiluted News. Listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I gone.